A couple weeks ago, I stood under the actual Saturn V, the rocket that first took humans around the moon, in Apollo 8. Standing next to it, I couldn't stop thinking, could I actually fly that mission myself? So that's exactly what I'm doing today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be building the real Apollo 8 mission inside Kerbal Space Program. This is a thing that I'm sure has never been done before. And we're starting out with the Apollo command module, which is based off the Apollo command module, as you can see. This is the second stage that I'm building right now. Usually the actual Apollo mission has more than just 3 stages like I'm building. There's actually one right below the command module. But since I don't really need that much fuel, and it still looks pretty historically accurate, I'm just going to leave it off for now. And actually, so pretty much, I went to the Kennedy Space Center a couple weeks ago, and I saw this real Saturn V, though it wasn't flown in the mission, it was more like a backup one. And that got me thinking, what if I built this in Kerbal Space Program? So as soon as I got back home from that trip, I decided to just sit down on my computer, and I made this. And as you can see, I'm having a bunch of trial and error with the rocket boosters, trying to figure out which one has the best thrust to weight ratio. And yeah, it took me a while to find that out, but eventually I do find it. And yeah, so now I'm adding the fins to it to keep it aerodynamic and also historically accurate. All right. And with that nice zoom in and over the nice sunset, which is actually what the real Apollo 8 launched over, it was launched at sunset, we are now launching. It's been a while since I've actually played Kerbal Space Program, so don't critique me over my gravity turns and stuff. I know that my gravity turn wasn't the most efficient, but it turns out in the end I didn't really need that much efficiency, given that it was already pretty fast. So we're already about 25,000 meters over the Kerbin, and our apsis has reached a nice height of about 90,000 meters, I think. Yeah. So now I'm going to get ready for my maneuver to get my circularization burn. And there we go. As you can see, it's going to first use up all of my first stage, which is way more powerful, but there we go. So now that's going to go burn up in the atmosphere. It was right about here that I realized that my burn isn't going to be that good, so I got rid of that first maneuver. And then I set up the second maneuver to get a better circularization. And that means it's going to be about 100,000 meters above, which was a little bit more than I wanted, but it's still fine. Oh, and there we go. That's the second burn, going strong. And the periapsis is there. Alright, nice. So we're now in a nice circular orbit. And now I'm trying to find the best spot to get a Mun encounter. As you can see, it'll take about 800 meters per second at delta V. Which, if you want to know what delta V is, I'm not sure. And you should probably just watch somebody else's video on it. I'll link a good one in the description if you want to know more about it. But it's just something about rockets or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be our TOI burn to get into the Mun encounter. Yep, there we go. I did start a little bit earlier than I was supposed to on this one, but it doesn't really matter in the end. Our rocket is doing its burn. If you want to know more about my trip to the KSC, I'll be posting a separate video about it. And it will cover everything about my day. I went on like this bus ride thing. I saw the launch pad where SpaceX launches their rockets. I saw the Apollo. I saw the Apollo launch pad. I saw a lot of stuff there, and not just the Apollo Museum part. All right, as you can see, I've made it into the nice Mun orbit, or not orbit, Now I'm setting up the nice circular Mun orbit, just to try to get a good one. So I'm pulling at the retrograde to hope to just make my orbit better. I'm checking out the map right now, checking out all the unknown objects. And I'm time warping over. Oh, there's the moon. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so now I'm getting ready for my maneuver. And there we go. So I'm starting my circularization burn around the Mun to hopefully get good one. And just a little bit, yep. That was actually a perfect burn right there. And we're now in orbit around the moon. So right now I'm actually trying to set up the Earthrise shot, which is actually one of the most famous images. Oh, there we go. Trying to get a good one with Bob out here. Yep, look at that. It's Earthrise, folks. That's what you came here for, right? Earthrise? Oh, that is Earthrise and KSP, which actually looks, it looks like if you took the original one a little bit and then just flipped it vertically. Because the actual Earthrise photo, it had the moon on the bottom and the Earth in the middle. But on this one, I have the Mun on the left side and the Earth in the middle. Alright, so we're trying to get Bob back in, which I am really bad at moving with jetpacks. Oh, very exaggerated there. Oh, now he's on the rocket. Keep in mind, I still have the launch escape system and the thing, because I don't know why I didn't genocide it. And I probably should have genocided it. As you can see the moon through the window. This person can see the Earth in their window, and so can the other person. Funny enough, for like a second there, I actually forgot how to get out of that view. So but I was able to figure it out. So I did it did about 10 orbits. Apollo 8 did about 10 orbits around the moon. So that's what my aiming point was. I just realized, look at how, like, that orbit's a little weird. How did I not realize that? It's not, like, straight around the moon's equator. Oh, well. Oh, I'm starting my burn to get out of the Mun, which it might look like I'm going in the wrong direction, but don't worry, I am not going in the wrong direction. Trying to get my periapsis as low as I can. And there we go. Now I'm on a collision course with the Earth. Or Kerbin, sorry, I'm just used to saying Earth. Alright. So now I'm jettisoning all the stuff that's not the actual module. Because I didn't bring any science with me since this is career mode, because I'm not good enough for science mode. Oh no, it's not career mode, it's sandbox mode. Alright, well either way. This is a nice re-entry. The heat shield did get a little bit hot, but it survived. And now we've released the parachutes. And now it's just a nice, short ride down back to Earth. So I did forget, I launched one parachute and I wasn't able to get the other up. But eventually I was able to get it out of that death spin, which I'm sure the astronauts were not happy about, but oh well. That's just the way it goes, I guess. Alright, and we're about to splash down in 3, 2, and 1. Alright, and there we go. We have splashed down.